The second set of fundamental stroke practice is a super short one. There are only 2 main strokes we'll talk about today. The remainder of the video, I'll do a high-level chat about the basics of tools and some of my recommendation. In another separate video, I will go into more in depth when it comes to tools. This first stroke is called the descender stroke. When writing this, you want to move the pen downward, pressing evenly until you're almost at the descender line. Then gradually release the pressure and make a narrow hairline curve, curving outward slightly, then inward as you approach up. The way I'm practicing here is I start with a descender stroke. Then I concentrate on making loops of consistent width and length. Do the best you can when it comes to making the loops consistent. It's not going to be exactly perfect, and that is okay. Feel free to take a moment to practice a couple of rounds. The last stroke we'll focus on today is called the ascender loop. To create the ascender loop, start with a very light pressure. Creating a thin stroke curves counterclockwise all the way up. And you want to continue to maintain that light pressure as you're going up. And then slowly curving around to the left till you start going downward. Then slowly transition to the descending, thick and equally weighted stroke, all the way down to your baseline. Let's do a couple of practice rounds now. In the last video, I highlighted the big three when it comes to basics of tools: pen, paper, and ink. And it really is just that. The basic tools are few in number and fairly inexpensive when it comes to calligraphy. This wooden pen holder here is an oblique pen holder. It's a straight pen holder to which there's an affixed curved strip of metal that holds any standard pen nib. And this black one here is a plastic one that I purchased when I first started out, and you can purchase it at any art supply store in a kit. And finally, this one here is also an oblique. It's a fun, bright, colorful one to have. You can use it as a straight pen holder or an oblique. My personal favorite is the one in the middle, the wooden oblique pen holder, which is quite nice to hold for a long period of time. When it comes to ink, I'm using the Moon Palace Sumi ink. I quite like it. It has a very smooth consistency and gives a slight sheen when dry. I'm also trying out an Indian ink from a different brand, so I will report back how I like it. I'm using a straight nib here. This has been the brand I've been using consistently. It's called Zebra Chi. It's what I started with when learning calligraphy. I find that it has the right amount of flexibility and bounce for especially beginners. For paper, I'm using the HP Premium 32 pound. This is a great paper to practice on. I also love to use this paper to write long form calligraphy. And here, this is a multi-purpose rolling ruler that I've been using.